Hi, welcome to The Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 106 coming at you today. That's a lot.
Yeah, we've done this a few times.
I know. NBA draft analysis, NBA trade analysis, and a comedy movie draft.
Good job. First try so far. All good.
All good.
Okay, so let's start with some off the tops.
Off the top, Shohei Ohtani, he's just such a beast. I saw a good tweet the other day. It said, like, he was just, talking about his stats. Basically, they said, this is like Patrick Mahomes having a 3-sack game, right? Like, he hits a bomb, strikes out 12 guys. He's a freak, and not enough people talk about him. I really hope he doesn't end up with, like, the Dodgers or the Mets or the Yankees. Please.
He's honestly one of those guys where, like, if he's wearing a Yankees jersey, like, I'm still going to be watching him all the time. And
I agree.
And that shows how much I'm all in. He's actually coming to Detroit end of July. There's a 3-game set, and if he's pitching, we're there. Actually, I'm probably there regardless. Hopefully he is pitching.
Just to see him.
Yes.
It's awesome. Old guys playing sports is just funny. A couple of the guys were talking about it. Like braces and limps and Bengay and ibuprofen. The other day, my buddy texted me in the morning and said, "Can you bring a banana?" Because he's been getting dehydrated. Old guys playing sports, you admit it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that's probably 20 seconds too much on that. But sure, it's really
Look
funny.
at Captain Steve. Captain Steve is like
again, that's
pushing 65.
Do you have anything else there? Because
I do.
Okay.
It's a rough time in sports when a lot of the headlines are NASCAR, WNBA, USFL, and college baseball. Come on, NFL. We really need you.
I'm not going to address most of that other than USFL, is I kind of want to go and watch a game. I have no idea pricing or schedule, but I know it's at Ford Field, and we're close to Ford Field, so I want to go watch football. That's kind of where I'm at.
I guess I'll go try and watch one of them.
It's football.
I'd rather go back to 1983 or 1984 and watch Herschel Walker play for the Generals.
Yeah, I don't know the Generals, but
New Jersey Generals, I think it was.
I want football. We're kind of at that point. I want some football.
Yeah, we need some football.
Especially with the line. Like, this is the first time I'll have expectations for the Lions in my entire life, which is kind of good and bad, but it's fact.
We're excited, but with excitement brings the possibility of disappointment.
Yes. Now, do you have any other off the tops?
I've got a couple more NBA things, but we'll chat about that later. What do you got?
Okay, so I just have 2. So I recently purchased 2 basketball jerseys. Do we want to do any kind of... Do you have any idea? You should be able to get one of them because I kind of told you I might do this.
Jimmy...
No, come on now.
Jimmy's grade school jersey?
I couldn't find that. I don't even know if he played in Tomball, Texas in grade 3. First one is a Victor Wembanyama Spurs teal Fiesta jersey.
Ooh,
I'm all in on Wemby. I will do a little bit on him later.
It's big money? $20?
$20 Canadian, yeah.
20 Canadian. Ooh.
And then I'm like, I kind of want another one. What do I do?
Off the NBA official site, right? There was just a quick sale.
Yep. And then I'm like, do I get Shea? I was talking to Tom, like, I like Shea. Do I want to get a Shea? But like, that's kind of like, you're going to see a lot of Sheas in Canada. Throwback Black Sun Steve Nash jersey is what I went with.
Ooh, I like that.
Because you don't see a ton of old Steve Nash jerseys. So those are 2.
Pride of Santa Clara.
Yeah, that was also about $18 Canadian. So we've got 2 new jerseys coming. No Jimmy jerseys yet.
So should we wear them next week for the show?
Well, they're not. It takes a little longer than a week from where they're coming from. But yes, we'll wear them in the next 4 months when we get them.
But they come from New York, right?
Yeah,
NBA site?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with the NBA draft. Dad, I'll let you run with things right now.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a little bit, some winners, some losers, a couple surprises, and just talk about what the Pistons did. So the winners, like, I think you just have to put the Spurs because they drafted the French freak, Wemby, whatever you call him. I haven't really heard a good nickname yet.
I haven't either, actually. I'm fine with Wemby for now.
Yeah, Wemby's it. The French freak I know is a takeoff of Giannis, but there's a couple of comparators.
Okay, keep going on Vic.
On Vic?
Victor.
Oh,
it's one of his
he's awesome. No, you're going to talk about him some more.
Okay, so I will explain my relationship with him because we've not talked about him a ton on the pod.
No, we weren't allowed to say his name.
So there's a long stretch where I was not allowing myself to look at anything relating to him, name, highlights, mocks, anything. Because I kind of convinced myself...
You just talk.
I kind of convinced myself that if the Pistons got him, they'd win 7 championships in a row. So there's a stretch pre-lottery where I'm like, I can't even get used to the idea of seeing him in my uniform, right? So I didn't look at him for a while. Then post-lottery, when the Spurs won and the Pistons got hosed, I kind of went through a morning, like maybe a month, like 3-week stretch where I'm like, I can't look at him now. And now I'm at the phase where I've understood. I accepted what happened.
You watched a lot of tape on him.
And I watched a lot of tape and I watched a lot of pods and I just watched him and I'm like, this guy is awesome. He's so cool. He's so good. He's going to be awesome.
Smart.
The lazy take is he's going to play 40 games and get injured. Just shut up if you're saying that because that's just awful.
He's bigger and better than Chet Holmgren just from a body perspective.
Yeah, like it's a fluke injury. Like if he gets, I don't want to talk about injuries. I just love everything about Victor. He's such a good dude and he's so likable. And I've got no gripes with the Spurs. If I was a Pistons fan in like 03, 04, 05, I might have some gripes with the Spurs because I think the Pistons lost them in maybe 05 when they should have went back to back, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, I know, but the Spurs were always really respected even at that time. So
It's a great organization.
Jump in on Spurs, Victor. I just want to say I'm going to watch a lot of Spurs this year.
I'm very happy with Wemby, his landing spot. Great coach, great organization. Hopefully there's not going to be too much drama in San Antonio compared to some of the other cities. I think it's good for the NBA. And guess what? We're fans of the NBA. We're going to be a fan of the Spurs. We're going to like watching San Antonio. I'll probably stay up past 10:30 some days and watch some Wemby play.
I'm going to be watching so much Spurs. And it depends
what
on
time zone are they? Are they only an hour apart from us or two?
I'm not sure. I haven't asked them lately. I'll go and look for you. So that's all I've got on Victor. I just want to say, like, people that are hearing a lot about him, it's legit. This kid is awesome.
He's legit.
He's going to bring a lot of new fans to the NBA. He's great for basketball.
Okay, so another winner I've got the Rockets, right? They obviously picked the first of the Thompson twins, Amir Thompson. And then...
No, there's no Amir.
How do you pronounce it?
I think it's Amon.
Amon. Oh, yeah.
No Amir.
Yeah. And then Whitmore dropped, like, so far. So they have two good pieces. I hate the Rockets, and I want bad things to happen to them. But, I got to admit, I'm kind of pulling for those guys, and you have to write the Rockets down as one of the winners of the draft.
I'm not pulling for them at all.
No, I'm pulling for those two guys.
No, I'm not, because they were Rockets jerseys. The Whitmore thing is very goofy. There was times where he was going to go 4th overall, and he went 20th overall. Mm-hmm. And then you've got all the smart draft analysts saying, I don't know why he fell. I understand the concerns. But there's a certain point at 13, 14, 15 where the percentage that those guys actually become role players is low. You might as well just take a shot.
Absolutely.
On what Whitmore could be.
Okay, sure, the floor's a little low, but the ceiling's huge.
And guys with 2 picks, like Orlando had 6 and 11. And obviously I like Jet going 11. You don't want, at 11 overall, you don't want to take a flyer on him. The Jazz had a lot of picks to work with. The Thunder had a lot of picks to work with. And then we saw the Rockets who had 2 picks to work with. They went with Whitmore.
The best that Jet is going to be is comparable as...
Who? Jet? Oh, Jet Howard. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Alec Burks?
No, he's going to be better. It's.
I don't know if
he's going to be better than that, but it's like...
He's a shooter. He doesn't shoot that well.
Yeah, we're not doing a Jet Howard deep dive. I'm rooting for Jet, okay?
Okay.
It's extremely strange, and I wish he didn't go to Houston, but at least he didn't go to the Lakers. Would have been nice if Miami picked him. I think there was a lot of GMs kind of big-braining each other, saying, well, if he didn't take him, I'm not going to take him. I think that kind of happened 12 times.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Houston did it, so respect to Houston for going in there.
Good for them.
I
have one more winner. Portland, Scoot falling to them at 3. It's great for them. I don't know what's going to happen. Could this affect Dame leaving? I don't really know. But listen, I like Portland small market teams to have good teams. And Portland is set up to be a good team. And the guy who roasted you from London.
Shaden Sharp.
Yeah,
who we played twice. I think he scored 70 each time on us. Thanks, Shaden. Good memories. I'm going to do a bit on the Blazers in a minute.
We thought Ben was kind of athletic, and you treated Ben like a little kid.
Ben's my buddy who was the one guarding him. Okay, so I'll do a bit on Scoot later and Dame later. Brandon Miller going 2 to Charlotte over Scoot. Thoughts on that?
It's a positional stretch. I think they're overthinking themselves. Pick the best dude.
At 2 overall, you don't draft for fit. You draft for best player available at 2.
If the Pistons had 2, I absolutely it wouldn't have made sense for them from a positional fit to pick Scoot. But you absolutely do pick Scoot.
100% you pick
What's
Scoot.
The worst case scenario? You have 3 all-star level guards. I'm sure they could figure it out, especially because one of them is 6'6". Maybe even 6'7".
Cade?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard he grew to 7'9".
7'8".
So, Sacramento Kings, just really quickly, they're clearing up a lot of salary. There is a move coming. I don't know what it is. It might be Draymond Green. I know you have his name written down. We'll talk about him in a minute. The Kings are going to do something. I just want to say, I
have a question for the fans.
Yeah.
How does Isaac know that I have Draymond Green written down? I think what Isaac does is he looks at my report ahead of time, so he just takes some of my good takes and adds them to his notes. That's got to be it.
No, I have to cut all the stupid stuff that you write down. I will wrap up the draft with, I didn't love the broadcast of the draft this year. We didn't talk too much about it. It felt really stretched out. I didn't love the people there. I didn't love the, like,
Some of the
family.
analysts weren't very good.
I didn't love the tables of, like, 20 family members. Just have, like, a couple, like football does, and make it quick. It felt super long.
It was a banquet.
It was one of
those banquets that you leave as soon as you possibly can because the speeches have been way too long. It was a banquet.
Yeah, I was not happy with that.
Maybe they can do that the following night for everybody.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Any more on the draft itself?
I think we need to talk about just a couple of losers real quick.
Sure, yeah.
Cam, we talked about him. Crappy workouts. He's a loser, but could make himself up. I just need to talk about it for another moment. The Pistons getting bumped to 5. I know that's why they set it up, because they want to avoid the tanking thing, but it just sucks. And center's not getting picked, right? Like, you can argue that 3 of the best 3 players in the league are kind of centers or big guys.
100%. I'd probably argue 1, 2, and 3 are all bigs.
And basically, they picked Wemby, who's center in height, but he's a 4. They picked that dude from Duke.
Derek Lively.
Went
12.
And I don't know, some other big guy who picked, but not high.
Yeah, in the 20s. Not in the lottery.
So, I think some more centers should be picked.
It's good scouting. Good job.
Couple surprises. You may disagree with this, but I think Jet Howard was a reach.
Yeah, of course it was a reach. Okay.
Yeah. The Bilal Coulibaly guy, perhaps not perfect pronunciation.
I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to hate you. So
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Grady Dick's red jacket, that's got to be one of the surprises. It's bad. He's a confident young fella, isn't he?
I'm rooting for him. I like him as a prospect.
I texted my Toronto buddies, and their response was, "Team sucks. I don't care."
I do have some audio messages from Tom that I won't play. Can I explain them?
Yes, you certainly can.
Tom was
going off.
So Tom is a Raptors fan, big Raptors fan.
Is or was?
I haven't checked in on him lately, and he was sending me audio messages like kind of during the draft, like. Looks like, he really wanted Jordan Hawkins, who went the pick after Toronto to New Orleans. He really wanted Jordan Hawkins and did not want Grady Dick. And sent me like maybe 3 minutes of audio messages right after the Grady Dick pick. Said that right. And extremely upset. Lots of, like, if we were to play this, Alex and Lukey would just have to, like, maybe never watch the show again. Because there were so many swear words.
Never.
So, like, anyone below the age, probably like 18, like, it probably would have been 18A. It was pretty bad, so I won't play it. But my Raptors fan, I think he kind of got settled with it. But it was a good 3-minute stretch of just listening.
He needed a cathartic release, and you were able to give that to him.
Yeah,
that's important. Because he's known a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, Tom Loki. Do we want to talk about Ausar Thompson here? Do you want to do a little bit? Okay, Tell me what you know about him.
Okay, he's got lots of skills. Good defender, huge hops, pretty good passing guy. And he can score, but he's more of a transitional scorer, slasher guy. He shot okay, and I understand closer to the end of the season, his shooting stats picked up. My question is, can he be a starter on a winning team? Today, no, but the kid's about 19 years old, right? He's younger than you. He's going to get better. I support the pick.
He's younger than me. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I know. I have to get used to that. I will be brief with Ausar Thompson. First of all, it looks like he's an awesome dude.
Yes.
Which is very important. Because the past few drafts, right, you've got, obviously Cade and Ivy at the top, who are both great dudes. Stu is awesome. Duran's a really good dude, and Duran's a kid as well. So Ausar Thompson is a good dude, and that's important for culture, right off the bat. Excellent athlete, speed, vertical, everything like you talked about. Defender, on ball, off ball, great. Really good rebounder. High motor, good energy. Everyone talked about his intangibles and his work ethic. Love hearing that stuff. Not a natural scorer. If you watch him, you can kind of tell he's just taking advantage of the 17-year-olds guarding him. And that's not an exaggeration. That's true. 16, 17-year-olds were guarding him in this league. 65% from the free throw line. I don't love. 30% from 3 on low usage. I don't love. A lot of turnovers. Really bad competition. A little too reliant on athleticism at times. Can't shoot flashes, like you said. There's a lot of things that scare me with this pick, and there's other I love Taylor Hendricks.
Would you have picked Taylor Hendricks ahead of?
I personally had Hendricks, Whitmore, and Walker all ahead of both Thompsons, and I understand that's a little bit hot take, but that's just
going to be
my
interesting
reminder.
to see how this ages.
Yeah, 100%. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, and I don't hate Ausar Thompson as like I probably would have picked him at like 8 or 9.
Okay.
I just like the bigs above him.
What about Marcus Sasser? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I didn't write anything down on him. I watched a few minutes of him. Jumps off.
You know what?
A lot of fun.
He's a good combo guard. Had some punch off the bench.
Lots of Tyrese Maxey, Bones Highland, just kind of like erratic, fun energy, but can play D.
But you need some guys who can score, and he's a ferocious on-ball defender, which is fun. He's going to be a crowd favorite.
I really do like, because I talked to Al, and Al liked him, and he's smart, so I said, cool. And I watched a few minutes of him, and it was a lot of fun. So that's what I got on the Pistons.
I have 2 more Pistons takes.
Keep going.
Obviously, you still need a forward that can score. Free agency, lots of discussion about Cam Johnson, like $100 million, $105 million to Cam. I think I'm okay with it, just because I don't know what the free agency class looks like next year, and the Pistons still have about 3 years before they have to start paying their guys.
Right? I think it's less. It's got to be less, right?
Well,
Stu was up for an extension.
I'm not talking Stu. I'm talking Duran, talking Ivy, I'm talking Kate.
Okay, fine. Stu, please, as well.
Yeah, I know. I like Stu, but he's like Nazir Reed, 3 years, $12 million kind of guy.
I'm not sure who Nazir Reed is.
Who's the guy from Minnesota?
Nas Reed.
Nas Reed, that's pretty close.
Who got like 3 or 48
His
million.
full name is Nazir. You just didn't know.
It's made up.
And then I got just a bit of an L. I understand how it happens. You get a new coach. You have the highest paid coach in the NBA. John Beeline is no longer with the Pistons organization. You didn't even know that, did you?
No, I did hear that because he said he's exploring other opportunities.
I didn't see it in your notes. I don't think our listeners heard it. Maybe I'll go back and listen to the tape to see if you mentioned John Beeline, because I don't think you did.
I'll say his exact quote because I was just reading it before I took my nap after watching Indiana Jones.
Okay, but why didn't you let our fans know about it?
Because I didn't think it was pressing, but I also didn't think talking about
John Beeline is awesome.
I didn't think of talking about old guys limping for 40 seconds and eating bananas for potassium and cramping was also crucial information for the fans.
Very important. We have a lot of fans that are a little bit elderly and just need those helpful help tips.
Okay, so how about that? I got a bit on the Blazers. Do I do that now or do you want to do trade stuff?
Go nuts.
Okay, really quickly here. So Damian Lillard, I'll say my bit and then you can do your bit and then we'll talk about trades. So Portland should have traded Dame for sure last year, maybe 2 years ago. Now you have to trade him. It makes no sense to keep him. Brooklyn, Miami, whoever it is, like I have no Heat bias in this. Like Brooklyn can obviously put together a better package. And I know Dame doesn't
but they're not going to include Bridges.
No, but they've got a boatload of picks and they've got a boatload of nice wings that are really attractive. Like you have a lot of options there.
Yeah.
Dame doesn't have a no-trade clause. He doesn't have that Beal radicalism that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But I think where Dame wants to go, you send him out of respect to him.
So can I ask, what kind of package does Miami have to put together in order to get Dame?
It's, Hero is the base. As many picks as you can. Then you've got...
3 first-rounders?
Yeah, it'd be probably 3. Duncan Robinson, who now is an asset.
Yep.
Kyle Lowry's expiring, may be an asset. I don't think it is, but he would likely be included for money. Caleb Martin could be included. Could involve Gabe Vincent, Maxwell Strus, sign and trade. There are a lot. Nikola Jovic, and then Jaime Jaquez Jr., the rookie they just got. Like they've got a couple young guys now.
Yeah.
So there is options. It's not super great, but you might want to listen to Dame. Like if they want to make Dame happy on his way out and listen to him, sounds like it's Miami. But Pat Riley's been asleep for 3 years, and I don't think he's picking up the phone, as we saw with John Collins.
I think you're sleeping too much on Riley.
Hopefully I wake up tomorrow.
Alonzo Mourning's going to finish his 2.5-hour workout. Oh, and then he's going to run 5 miles. And then he's going to wake up Pat Riley. They're going to have a double espresso together, and then they're going to trade for Beal. Trade for Dame.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It'd be awesome.
Back to Portland here. It's enough about Miami. You rebuild with Scoot, you rebuild with Sharp. They've got a couple young guys I like. They got the other Murray twin in the draft, who a lot of smart people said it was a really good pick. It's honestly a game of chicken between Portland and Dame right now. Who's going to request a trade? Who's going to be the bad guy here? I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Dame doing all the trolling on Instagram, the cryptic comments, and I'm just...
Some Miami song or something.
He's in a club, and they're playing Will Smith's Miami in the background, and everyone's like, oh, and he let it play, and then the agent released a statement, addressed it, saying we're sorry about... And it was just like, dude, I hate all of this.
Say
nothing. So Portland, right? Your fan base isn't going to revolt if you trade him. Like, I think everyone's going to understand, especially now that you have a future with Scoot. Dame, nobody's going to get mad if you request a trade, as long as it's not to, like, an LA team. Everyone's going to be fine if you go... Actually, Milwaukee will be a little sus, but I would love him in Milwaukee. Oh, it'd be so cool. But, like, I don't think people are going to revolt if Dame requests a trade. No, but the Middleton piece is interesting here, and Drew Dame in my backcourt would be awesome.
It's not bad.
But that's what I got on Dame. I'll let you go, and then we'll talk about trades.
Dame to Miami. You heard it here first. Maybe not first, but you heard it here definitively.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Thanks for that.
Good,
I'll let you
take.
start with the trades now. You can go with the Beal.
Yeah, let's talk about Beal first. So Bradley Beal, 2 years ago, Washington decided we're all in on Beal. We're going to make a run with Beal. So they gave him the highest paid contract in the NBA. And they pretty much said, Bradley, we're going to give you a clause where you can decide what team you want to go to. It doesn't really matter. You have full power over trades. It's one of the silliest contracts ever. And he's a good player. I think he's a pretty decent dude. But
a little anti-vax stuff too worked in there. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, he did a little bit of dumbness.
Yeah.
So basically, he had the trade value of a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, he was not an asset. He was a negative piece.
No. So, Washington traded him and decided a year too late to go into tank mode.
I would say more than a year too late. But yeah, if you want to look at
certainly
the Wemby piece.
Yes. Everybody else knew about Wemby, he didn't.
Washington was seemingly the only organization that started their rebuild at this time to completely miss on Wemby here. Washington somehow turned 29-year-old All-NBA guy into a couple second-rounders and a salary dump. Just horrible asset management. Horrible. Yeah. Talk about bad contracts. This is one of the worst in a long time because of that no-trade clause. I'll do a bit on the Suns here. It's just new owner syndrome, right? It's ultra-aggressive, ultra-win now. The fit is awful. Depth is there. Depth is not there. Defense is not there. Salary cap stuff is bad.
You should probably see, you'll sign a minimum contract. You're probably the eighth guy.
I'll work hard. Phoenix, I'll run around.
Yeah.
I'll be a really good locker room guy. I can help with social media, too. If you want to cut costs, I can do that. Minimum wage.
You
and
probably help with some of their marketing releases and that kind of stuff.
Oh, I can write press releases. 100%.
Sure.
News advisories. Let me know. I got you. Back to Washington. Awful. They're in a goofy spot. We'll talk about them in a little more. Can you explain to the people why it was such a low return? Because I don't think people entirely understand.
What happens is basically you're trading asset for asset. And let's just throw something silly. The Pistons decide they want to trade Cade Cunningham. Just use an example.
Just say Alec Burks.
No, Cade Cunningham. So someone like Cade Cunningham, first overall draft pick, he's only played 2 years and he missed a year mostly because of an injury. But he would still be, top 20 player in the league trade value, even though Bill Simmons got him higher than that. So you're going to get a player, 3 first-round picks, and probably a bit of money worked into it, just as an example. Beal should have had that much value or close to that much value if they traded him a year or certainly 2 years ago.
He was an All-NBA guy 3 years ago.
Because they waited so long and because they gave him that stupid contract, his value is nothing.
Yeah.
Negative, really.
Yeah, it was negative.
He's negative WAR.
You kind of danced. It was an easier way to explain this, and I'll explain it. He hasn't played more than 60 games since 2018. Guaranteed $57 million in his age 33 season. He's already shown statistical regression, and then
statistical regression. Two good words.
Thanks, mate. Data analysis right there. And Beal had this no trade clause, so there's all these reasons why his value was so low. So it's not like it was a total fleece. It was worked into his contract. There was he's not the player he was a few years ago, or he hasn't shown that. So that's why it was a low return. That's kind of what that was the correct answer I was hoping for you.
Okay.
I will let you run with Celtics, Porzingis, garbage now.
So the Celtics have done pretty well the last 4 years, but they just haven't. No rings. No, they just haven't got there. So they decided, okay, we're going to mix it up. Traded away Marcus Smart, who is a decent value, but they had to hold on to Tatum, they had to hold on to Brown, and they did have a little bit extra in the guard play. So they traded for the Unicorn, who, a few years ago was unbelievable, loved by everybody, but he's had some injuries, he's had some laziness. He had a pretty good year last year. He did.
Just keep spewing nonsense.
It's garbage stats. So basically, the Celtics acquired Porzingis, the rights to 25 pick, which they ended up trading away, and a Warriors 2024 first-round pick. So they get a lot. They gave up Marcus Smart, who's their starting point guard, Danilo Gallinari, who was injured, Mike Muscala, who never played, and that's it. Grizzlies got Marcus Smart. The Wizards acquired a bunch of schlep guys and the 35 pick.
Okay.
Right?
Is that all? Because I have to correct some things here.
Sure, correct.
Okay, Tyus Jones. You need to put some respect on Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones. I forgot about him. He's a pretty decent guard.
Now, if you look at his numbers, they don't jump off the stat sheet. I'm a huge Tyus Jones guy. Like, he's either going to get dealt at the deadline or he's just going to... I was going to say he's going to be so good in Washington, but we'll talk about the pool piece of this in a little bit. Celtics standpoint, thoughts on Porzingis fitting there?
I don't like it.
I disagree. Okay, why don't you like it?
Because I hate Boston.
Okay, but can you not look beyond the green jerseys?
Oh, no, logically, it's a great fit.
Okay.
Right? Because he's a good stretch five. He'll allow Horford to get lots of rest. And what's the other Williams?
Rob Williams.
Rob Williams?
No, I will run with something here really quickly.
Because he's called... Do you know why he's called the Time Lord?
No. Because he jumps so high, he controls... Like, is it going to be...
No, because like when he was a rookie, he like messed up the first 3 weeks. Missed a flight, missed a team dinner, missed a media day.
Oh.
He obviously can't like figure out how to set an alarm.
Okay, good job. First take here. Boston fans are going to love Porzingis. Just going to put that out there. Like, he's kind of got a Gordon Hayward-esque...
Oh, God. Sorry, I know where you're heading.
Peyton Pritchard-type vibe to him. Boston fans in Boston.
He's Larry Bird, except a foot taller and skinnier.
They're going to... Like, Kevin McHale-esque. They're going to love Porzingis in Boston. Just have to get that out there.
If you know, you know.
So, this is another stretch big for Boston that, like, Horford and Porzingis is going to... It just scares me. He's entering his prime. Porzingis is entering his prime. He's coming off his best year.
How old is Porzingis? 29, maybe?
27. Whew. Last year, he averaged 23 and 8 on 50, 39, 85, and was healthy like the whole year. Now, there's a couple things here. Horford switches everything, and KP never switches. I don't know how that's going to play out. Boston never, ever posts up. I watched so much Boston. A lot of people did because they went far. They didn't
played a long time.
Can you ever remember them posting up?
To Smart a little bit if a smaller guy was guarding him. I don't recall anything else.
Sometimes Tatum. Tatum would be like the
not
guy
much,
to most.
More like high post.
Correct. Porzingis is like not strictly back to basket guy, but like last year he did a lot of posting up. That's going to be like good and bad. KP can create his own. He's going to anchor second units. Pritchard is going to get run now, I think.
Yes.
Brogdon was going to go initially, and then he's not. I don't know how you explain that in the locker room. Like it's just going to be goofy. Right? Like, you knew about this.
Yeah.
Who's the alpha on this team? Because I hate Smart. It was Smart.
That's the problem. They lost some intangibles that Smart brings, and they're probably going to lose the Williams that just likes to fight.
Grant Williams,
Williams. So he was another loud guy. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. This actually, the Grizzlies picked up a backup for Ja because he is suspended for 25 games. And then a good defensive wing because they're not signing Dylan Brooks. That's his name?
Yeah, good job.
Dylan Brooks, and the Wizards are just in full tank mode.
Okay, real quick.
Pretty much. I mean, Tyus Jones is okay, but these guys are just scrubs.
From a Grizzlies aspect, I love Tyus Jones and I hate Marcus Smart, so it's tough for me to kind of get on board this. Morant, Bane, and Smart, nobody's above 6'5", and one of them's playing small forward, if you want to roll those three out, so I don't love that. And obviously Smart can play up a bit, but John Bane can't really. Mm-hmm. The erraticness that left with Brooks, a lot of it's coming back with Smart. And then the Wizards, they turned an asset of Porzingis into Tyus Jones in 35th overall, which I don't hate. I don't know if
it's not bad.
Hey, Porzingis, want to sign 3 for 80 with like a player option and figure it out and maybe trade you? I think that might have been better, but I think they just wanted their sheets cleared, so I get it. I will let you run with the Chris Paul Jordan Poole thing because we have not talked a ton about that.
Okay, no, we have not. So we're Warriors fans because we like Steph Curry and obviously we get to watch them a lot. They signed Jordan Poole about 10 months ago. And because he had a pretty good year, not last year, but the year before. Scored a lot. Obviously, Curry's injured for a big portion of the year. So they thought, Poole's our guy. Then they realized he's more of a pain. So much of a pain that Draymond Green punched him in the face and it got recorded and got released to the world. So basically the Warriors decided, okay, we're going to get rid of Poole, get rid of the money, which somehow has to do with like the second salary cap apron, which happens next year. And they're like, let's get Chris Paul. I have no idea what they plan to do with him. I don't think they're going to release him. I think they want to play him. They'll probably sit him a lot and just hope he's healthy for the playoffs. I give the Warriors probably an A- for this move.
I don't like doing the grades. I will say this. I have no idea how this looks. There's like zero idea, but I can't wait to watch. This is going to be so much fun. This is like Chris Paul, and I'm not a huge Paul guy, but like Paul and Curry is just going to be cool to be Steph off ball more. I'm looking forward to it. Just a quick question for you. So was Poole that negative of an asset in a contract, or were the Warriors that determined to just let him go and get anything they could?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay, that's a stupid answer. You have to pick one of the other.
That negative then.
You think so, eh?
Yeah, partially because of the salary cap that's coming in.
And now you likely extend Draymond, do you think?
Yeah, I wrote that down. I think they have to say, okay, we're going to make one more run. I don't know what they do. They're probably going to sign Draymond for 3 years and $90 million or something.
It might be a lot, depending on if Sacramento says, hey, here's an offer sheet.
It's interesting to see. Like, Poole did too many dumb plays. Like, he would get the ball, run down, jack it up 6 feet behind the three-point line covered, while two of the best shooters on the planet are open waiting. Well, Curry's never open, but Thompson was often open waiting for a pass.
Curry's never open. He's always open. It's kind of the thing there, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Similar to me.
Poole's going to score lots of points in Washington, but it won't be efficient, and they're not going to like him.
I had this written down. I had to delete it after the Poole trade. I was really looking forward to, jokes aside, the Tyus Jones, Delon Wright backcourt. I actually was like, pesky defensively. They can move the ball. I like those two guys. And now you got Jordan Poole, and I think Washington's he's going to shoot 25 times a game. It's going to be so ugly. I don't see how they win 25 games.
They're going to be like Houston, except less talent.
Less talent, a little bit less punks in Houston.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got on the trades. Fun, goofy stuff. John Collins got traded today.
Yeah.
But like for nothing.
Bucks.
So again, Pat Riley didn't want to take that.
Who they traded him for?
Rudy Gay.
Oh, Rudy Gay, who's been retired for about 5 years.
You've got all the casual NBA fans saying, like, this guy's still in the league? Yeah, technically. Okay, comedy movie draft. You can explain it to the people.
So, we like movies, and we talk a lot about superhero sports movies, and we'll have more of those topics coming up. But Youngblood actually came up with a good topic. Just comedy movie draft. This isn't necessarily where we're going to pick Elf, and he's going to be our starting power forward on our basketball team. This is just like a good movie. We're going to sit down. Can we call it a rewatchables?
Well, no.
No?
Okay. The way I kind of made my draft board was funny movie. Like, for example, Back to the Future. Now, Back to the Future is a funny movie, but I don't think of that as a comedy.
I agree with you.
So I wrote down where the main genre, like the main goal of the movie is to make me laugh.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I agree with you.
Okay, respect.
A couple things. I think one of the key things about these movies, at least when I was preparing my list, is lines that stick with you, that you'll just say it under your breath when we walk in somewhere, and I'll just start laughing. And Mom's like, what are you laughing at? And then Isaac will say, I don't know, he's just acting silly. So the lines are some of them that stick through it. Sequels are permitted, but they are separate.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, just wanted to clarify that. And because it's actually your idea, I'm going to let you pick first, even though I'm positive what you're going to pick.
Okay, so there are, in my opinion, like this is a 2-player draft. You got Wemby and Scoot, and then you've got there's a Miller, and there's a lot of good prospects.
Tons of good guys.
So first of all, I will waste no time. I'm picking Step Brothers.
Yep.
Right off the bat, I think everyone can kind of agree with this.
Hello, Miss Lady. Like, so funny.
Pam or Pan, we can
Pan,
do
Pan.
a whole, not even an episode. We can do just an actual podcast just on Step Brothers. Where like every episode we just talk about a 5-minute stretch of the movie. Step Brothers first overall, no doubt.
Yeah. So I had 4 people in my first tier. Sorry, four movies in my first tier. So I'm not exactly sure what Youngblood has got second on his board, or 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
Boy. I think I got to go with Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
It's so funny.
You can explain that to the people, because that's like 94. It's going back a bit.
No, listen, I have a slightly different perspective than Youngblood here. But when that came out, in the first couple of years, people were like, holy crap, this is funny. Jim Carrey was at his high. It was very entertaining.
So I had Dumb and Dumber. I did not even have it in my first few tiers.
No.
I have not seen it in a long time. I always liked it.
Oh, it's worth watching it.
But there's no way Dumb and Dumber is better than Superbad. So I'm going Superbad here. I'm wearing the McLovin shirt.
McLovin.
I am McLovin. I probably, other than Step Brothers, Superbad is the one I've seen the second most, I think.
Okay.
Because that one is infinitely, like you said, rewatchable. So I'm going with Superbad here. So that's I got Wemby and Scoot.
Okay, good.
In my eyes.
I've got Anchorman, Legend of Ron Burgundy. Entertaining, fun, lots of good lines. Sticking with that.
Okay. Again, so Anchorman was in my second tier. I have 4 tiers.
Okay.
Still in my first tier. This is my third prospect. This is Brandon Miller, Old School. I don't know how it fell. You can do your bit on Old School that you want to do, because I was rewatching.
Take one to the juggler. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Okay, briefly explain it, because this doesn't get. I don't think Old School gets enough.
I agree.
love.
I don't think Old School gets enough run, and like there's a lot of good Will Ferrell movies on our list. They've got like some kids party or something, and what's that actor's name?
I forget
the young funny guy, like Stifler, I think his name is in all those other movies. Sean something or other.
Okay.
He's like a weird kind of like animal guy.
Yeah.
And he's talking about his tranquilizer gun. He's like, I heard that can pierce the skin of an elephant. And Will Rhino just looking at it. And then he shoots himself in the neck. And so the couple minutes after that are quite entertaining.
But the best is like, just go and look up Old School Jugular. Like, if you haven't seen the movie, it's like a 3-minute scene.
It's so funny.
And the best part is he shoots himself in the neck, and the weird animal goes, yes, that is awesome. And then Will Ferrell like, you're crazy, man. It's just Old School. Watch 3 minutes.
Very
Unbelievable. But
yeah.
It's so underrated. People got to talk about Old School more.
I agree. I'm up.
Yes.
Gotta go with Waterboy. It's funny.
Okay,
when I watched that in the movie theaters, I literally was pissing myself laughing. Daniela's like, you're too loud. Like, just crying and crying and crying. The first time you watched that, it was so funny.
And how did you exit the movie theater? I've heard it like 15 times.
I don't remember.
There's some popcorn bucket on your head, I think.
Oh, yeah, I did do a popcorn bucket on my head. I don't exactly recall why I did that, but it was a fun outing.
Okay, Waterboy, great. I'm going to go with 4th on my big board, Hangover.
Oh, Hangover, also really good.
I thought this would go. I'm just picking one here, obviously. Some people saying it's a little overrated. I don't really get that. I think
Hangover. Think it's overrated. It's hilarious.
I think first Hangover is awesome, and I do remember I was young when it came out, but that was a huge deal when it came out, because you've got like Bradley Cooper and Zach Galifianakis. Hangover, really awesome.
Yep. I've got Elf. The 4 food groups never gets old. Keep watching that again and again.
Okay, I think that's a little early.
No.
For
just because it's June, July?
No, just because like Napoleon Dynamite is funnier, and that's where I will be picking here.
Okay, you can pick Napoleon Dynamite.
I waited for a bit because this is a controversial one. You kind of either love it or hate it.
Who hates it?
There's some people that just think it's goofy and weird and not funny.
And it's goofy and weird, but it's funny.
But it's like a different. It's not like Hangover, Old School, super bad humor. It's a very different, like weird thing. But I love Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, great pick. There's so many good options still on the board here. There's some old school ones. We're going to leave those for a bit because I don't think Youngblood's going to take them.
Yeah.
I'm going to scoop something from him that he's got for sure next. Meet the Fockers.
Okay. Which one is that? Like
the first one. I mean, the one with the parents is also really funny. So
Meet the Fockers is the second one.
What's the first one called?
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents. Okay, Meet the Parents.
So you basically just drafted the wrong Thompson twin, and then you're just saying, sorry, NBA, like, we're going to switch the cards. We put the wrong name down. You just drafted Amir Thompson, who doesn't exist. I will go with the last. So I had 6 movies in tier 1. I've picked all 5, and I'm picking 6 right now. Just my draft board is looking so good. Borat. I don't know the last time you watched Borat.
I haven't watched it lately.
Awesome.
The poop in the bag, that was pretty good.
First one, I am putting the first one here. The second one's funny too. Sometimes it's a little much, and I would say it wouldn't come out now, but they just kind of did a second one. It's also pretty like raunchy, but the first Borat, really good movie.
Okay. Now I'm going with the classic. Obviously, I'm aging myself a little bit, but Monty Python's The Holy Grail. Classic comedy. It's going to be high on everybody's list who's born pre-2000.
Okay, I'm going to go with one.
Have you seen it?
Not for a long time, but yes.
You should watch it again. It's funny.
So, I think this should count as a comedy because when I watch this movie, I think of how funny it is, and it's Deadpool. Would you consider this?
Yes, I consider Deadpool. It didn't make my list, but I did consider it.
So I'm gonna go with Deadpool. Deadpool 1 here. I think this is not like if I were to say like, Die Hard, then you can call me out. But I feel like Deadpool is valid.
This is where you get a little like Waterboy. Is it a sports movie? Is it a comedy? It can be both.
Yes. Yeah. Deadpool superhero comedy.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a fraternity movie. Obviously, I'm aging myself a little bit, but Animal House, great. Everybody in the late 70s and 80s loved this movie. It's so funny. I'd like to watch that again for sure.
I think
Have you seen it?
Not for a long time, but yes, I did. I think Jimmy Chauvin's favorite movie is Animal House. I'm pretty sure.
I would not be surprised.
Horrible Bosses, I'm going to go with here. Awesome. So good. Both of them are really good.
Yeah, they're good.
I just kind of discovered them. Watch Horrible Bosses. Very, very fun. It might be on Netflix.
Okay. Tommy Boy. You didn't pick Tommy Boy?
I did not.
Oh, I think Tommy Boy is quite funny. And I'm picking that.
Okay, that one's a little, not obscure, but like, that does not get talked about a ton.
I agree. I think...
So do a bit on Tommy Boy.
Well, Chris Farley, unfortunately, he died. But it's a fat guy. He takes over the family business. And he's got to drum up some sales, and he straps bombs to himself. He's an entertaining dude.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? David Spade?
Yeah. Thanks for the segue. Entertaining dude. Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah. Big Lebowski.
Shocked you let it fall. Shocked you let it fall.
I didn't have it high.
You thought I wasn't going to pick it.
You know what? My lead scout, who I sent to watch it again, he called in sick, so I didn't get his scouting report, and I just forgot.
Oh, the Shomer Chavez stuff of Big Lebowski is some of the best stuff on the list.
It's good material.
Okay, Lebowski I'm going with.
Okay. I think we're going to go with Christmas Vacation. That's a classic one. That's a shout-out Mom.
Yeah, that's 2 Christmas movies you picked now, right?
Well, Christmas in July. Have you never heard of Christmas in July? That's the best time to watch Christmas movies. July.
I have lots of options here.
So many good options still.
I'm going to go...
You want any old school stuff or still new?
Well, I've got, like The Big Lebowski would be the oldest that I have so far. I will go old school here. Even though I don't think you're going to pick this, I'm just going to have to ensure I get it. Because when I first watched this, I thought it was like maybe my favorite comedy ever. That's Coming to America. I don't know the last time you watched that. It's really awesome.
It's good.
And it's probably
Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy. Again, this is their peak, right?
Who?
Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy.
So I don't know the other guy too much. He's number 2. He's Scottie Pippen in it. I don't recognize him from a ton of stuff, but he's very good in Coming to America. That was like 1988 maybe. Like that was old.
Around that. He had his own talk show for a bunch of years. Pretty entertaining.
Yeah, very entertaining. Good job.
Boy, so many good choices still on the board. I'm going to go outside my normal comfort zone. I usually don't like the cartoon ones, but Incredibles.
Okay.
Really good.
So I didn't write down any cartoons because I knew if I allowed myself to write down Incredibles, I would draft like
5 of them.
I'd draft 3 Kung Fu Pandas, probably 2 Incredibles, maybe a Toy Story.
Yeah.
So I didn't put any cartoon, but Incredibles, good pick.
Thank you.
I'll go with Billy Madison here because I need some Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler content is real good.
You can go Happy Gilmore, you can go Grown Ups. Billy Madison was always my favorite as a kid. Hasn't aged the best as Waterboy, has not aged the best. But that kind of makes it better. I'm not going to talk about that. It just hasn't aged the best in some ways.
Just because it's like culturally inappropriate a wee bit?
Yeah, like there's some stuff that like I'm not going to talk.
You're probably going to watch some movies this summer.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, just Billy Madison hasn't aged the best, but super funny and good job.
Okay.
Favorite? Can I do my favorite line for Billy Madison?
Sure.
Do you remember? So at the end when they're doing that like trivia thing where you have to provide a smart answer, and Billy Madison's going against this real life smart guy, and he's not like he's asked some question about like the Industrial Revolution and he doesn't know, so he just kind of makes up this answer and talks about like a book he learned in JK.
The little engine that could or something.
No, the puppy lost his way.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about his JK teacher Miss Lippy, who we see eating glue at recess. And he makes this awful answer up, and like the moderator guy of the trivia panel is like, everyone in this room is now dumber after you spoke. May God bless your soul. Like, I'm stupider after listening to you. Really, really good. Billy Madison, lots of fun. Glad I called that guy.
Very nice. Glad I called that guy. Great line. You know what? We're on an Adam Sandler roll. I think I just got to go with Happy Gilmore. Funny golf movie. Like the fight with Bob Barker. Just awesome.
I think Apollo Creed when I think Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
I got to go with Ted here. I love Ted.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Ted's a good one. I didn't have that written down either.
Ted's got some good nuggets. He
does.
Even the second one's good too, but Ted won.
Okay. I'm surprised this one dropped, and this is a cult classic. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Just so many epic shenanigans. It wasn't necessarily a laugh out loud all the time, but just a lot of good, fun, cool things that happened. Going with FBDO.
I had it in my Back to the Future, The Goonies tier of like awesome 80s movie. Is it super super funny? It's not, but I can't crap on that pick.
Yep.
How many more do I have here? How many
Let's
more
go,
picks?
I don't know, 4 more each? You still got lots, right?
4 more each? Okay.
I've got a lot still.
Okay. I will go with Dodgeball here.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Love Dodgeball. Maybe making a second one. I hope that comes out.
Are they really making the second one?
There's been a lot of talks about it.
Oh, I hope they do.
But I think Ben Stiller was hesitant to come back because he's kind of like writing and doing stuff now.
But he's got to.
And they said they won't do it without him.
What is it, White Goodman?
It might be?
I think so. Hey, White, your Aztec's kind of fat in those pants.
Love Dodgeball. Dodgeball's so good. Watched that one a lot when I was young. Thanks, Dad.
Maybe a little bit. No, he was at least 12 before he watched it the first time. No way. Under. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of this, but a couple of the girls at work, I did ask them their opinion. They got Zoolander.
When's the last time you watched Zoolander?
Long time. At least a decade.
Okay. I will go with Tropic Thunder here. Not going to talk much about
No, not much about it, but it entertained people quite a while ago.
Because not only is there one thing that would not happen today, there's 2 things. And people don't remember the second one. But there's 2 things, like 2 characters in this movie that would not exist if it came out today. It's Tropic Thunder.
Okay. I'm going to do this shout out for Uncle Dante, the Royal Tenenbaums.
It's really good.
It's a really funny movie. It's very well done, very witty. And Uncle Dante loved Royal Tenenbaums.
So I have kind of a movie, and then I have 2 movies that are basically the same.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Office Space here. I don't even know if you've ever seen Office Space.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's why I waited. It's awesome. It's super, super funny.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
And if you work in an office, you should watch it. Like
I kind of work in an office. So.
Yeah, bro. So you should watch it.
Okay.
So I got... You keep going, but I have 2 more that are the same.
I got Princess Bride.
Okay.
It's funny.
That funny?
Oh, it's funny.
Okay. I don't think it's that funny.
My name is Indigo Montoya.
That's not a funny line. That's a serious line.
Yeah, when he says it a lot. Stop saying that. It's good.
Okay. So here... do I have 2 picks left?
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully you don't pick the other one. I will go with Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted 1.
Solid.
I probably like Bill and Ted more than I should. Like, it's really dumb, but I like it a lot.
But it's entertaining.
I like it so much.
Yeah, and the fact that he's John Wick is also cool.
Also cool.
So I got to pull out another old school movie just because the older crowd, we're going to find this entertaining. Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. So inappropriate, but so funny.
Because I've not watched that. I don't even know if it's
a movie. It was a couple of goofy dudes.
I know who they are, yeah.
Mexican, American. It's funny.
Wow, that's so funny.
It probably hasn't aged terribly well either.
Okay, my last movie, basically like an alternate universe, Bill and Ted, Wayne's World. Love Wayne's World. That's my... no one got Austin Powers here. And
I thought it was Austin Powers.
Maybe a little bit overrated.
Austin's a little overrated.
Except Goldmember.
I've got a couple overrated.
Okay.
I'm picking an old school movie again because obviously that's my genre. Caddyshack.
So I've never seen Caddyshack, which I understand is bad. But I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. No, but everybody who's listening, who's watching it, is like, oh, yeah, good movie. We'll watch that again.
Good job.
A bit overrated. The Woody Allen movies. I know everybody loves Woody Allen. He's supposed to be super smart, creative. They're not funny. They're weird.
I think he's a bad dude.
He's a bad dude. He
I don't know.
A lot of bad things.
I've never watched any Woody Allen movie. Like, it's a little before my time.
Yeah.
What else?
Bridesmaid. Like, everybody thought that was the funniest thing ever. It was not very funny. Like, there's a couple of parts, but generally not.
I didn't watch it.
And the Ace Ventura stuff. Not so funny.
I did. Yeah, I remember watching it as a kid. I've not watched it in a long time. But I kind of like all 3 of those picks there. Like, I don't have any issues with them.
Okay.
So, good job.
Do you have any overrated that you want to mention? Or?
I didn't write down any overrated. I think Pirates of the Caribbean is overrated. Unrelated.
I'll agree with you there. Unrelated, but overrated.
And I have not seen it since I was... Fast and Furious, overrated.
Like Fast and Furious 17, I think they're at right now.
James Bond, overrated.
I don't think so.
But it is over. You can say it's so good.
I can say it's really good. It's a little overrated.
And I'm not even sure if it's that good, but whatever. And then my last overrated here, I haven't watched it since I was 6, and I have PTSD from only being able to watch it for a couple summers. Anything Harry Potter, kind of flashbacks to only being able to watch that for 2 years. But that's all I got.
Okay. Listen, folks, thanks very much for the support. We're at 49 minutes, so we'll just be around 50 minutes.
That's right.
If you have ideas, you want to be a guest, you want us to talk about something, again, we've got this little lull here before football gets going. Now's your opportunity.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.